I built a tracksuit for CENAT'S clothing brand in 1 hour. Now the crazy thing is, this design isn't real. This photo shoot isn't real. Everything after this point is made completely with AI. And if you know how to use it, this could be the future for most clothing brands. Remember, these are all tools. And if you don't use them, you will simply be left behind. Now I'm going to show you how important this logo is going to be later on in the video for when we're making the pattern for this actual design. But to build this logo, I used a combination of shapes and also the pen tool to finalize how it looked. Essentially, if you've ever tried to make your own typeface or your own logo, for instance, and trace it within Illustrator, basically, this is what I'm doing here. You use shapes to get the general idea of what the shape of the logo is, and then you remove as you see fit. For complicated sections like this swoop/arrow section here, you can go ahead and use the pen tool and get the general shape. And then from here, you shape this using different tools. Now, there's different ways to do this. So if you use the direct selection tool, you can select different anchor points and curve them out that way, or you can go ahead and use the curve pen tool to create curves in different sections like this flat section here to get the shape that you want. The last recommendation I would give you is to use symmetry. So I'm using Alt as I drag because that makes a duplicate in Illustrator for Mac. And then I'm right clicking, transforming, and using the vertical transform to make a complete duplicate of the shape that I want. This will save you time, but also make your logo design look a bit more professional/complete. Use the shape builder tool to bring all the shapes together, and then go in with the direct selection tool to curve anything out/finalize your look. All you have to do is repeat that step of transform, reflect, and now you have a complete logo. Now I want to see if Kai actually uses a font or uses a custom font when he does launch the brand, but this font is called Brand right here, and I want to get it as close as possible to Kai's hand lettering. T has a little bit of a longer swoop at the bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the rectangle and add that swoop in to finalize the logo. Let's go ahead and start the design. So the actual design references here all relate to Kai and his brand identity regarding VIVET if I was on the direction board when it came to building the actual clothing. So we have references from Balenciaga, we have references from Echo, and we have references from Y2K brands that he often relates to. So bringing this all together, we're gonna make a piece that kind of reflects everything and reflects him as a person. And I want to make this custom pattern that you see on this Echo t-shirt, and we're gonna put it on this tracksuit. We know camo is in style at the moment, and it's a good way of taking something that's working within the niche and building it yourself to build your own custom brand. This is how you're gonna do it. Firstly, I'm going to open Photoshop and I'm going to go ahead and grab this pattern that I got from Texture Labs. Shout out to Texture Labs, it's completely free. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the threshold to build this pattern. Now, essentially, I want the essence/little parts of the splatter that reflects that Echo t-shirt that we had in the reference point. Once you get a section that you like, just use Shift-Command-4 on your Mac to bring up the screenshot selection and then take a little screenshot of what you want. Next, we're going to go ahead and put this within Illustrator and use image trace to extract it and have our pattern as a vector. Pause and copy my settings if you have to, but once you're happy with it, go ahead and press expand and now you have a vector. Completely optional, but if you want your design to look a bit more complete, go ahead and use the pencil tool, and you can go ahead and adjust how the shapes look so it doesn't look like a random cutoff at a certain point. Once you have your shapes ready, I want you to select everything and I want you to go to Object, Pattern, and then Make. Now you're almost there. All you have to do now is just arrange this pattern in different areas so it looks a little bit more complete like a seamless pattern. Once you're happy with your pattern, go ahead and press Done, and now you have a pattern in your swatches panel. Now let's go ahead and apply the pattern onto the actual jacket itself. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a rectangle and just fill it with the pattern so we get to see what it looks like. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and make this a bit smaller. This way, it's going to scale the pattern inside that rectangle. The reason why is I want to see if the pattern actually looks good. So I just place it on top and see if I like it. And from here, we can go ahead and apply it fully. Step 2, make a duplicate of your actual jacket. Use the live paint bucket tool and fill it in with a random color. From here, I want you to go ahead and go to Object, Expand, and expand everything. So now it's just one big solid block. Make sure you expand it twice just to make sure. And then I'm going to use the shape builder tool to make it one solid object. Following this, we'll use the eyedropper tool to select that little pattern that we made earlier. And now you have a pattern for your actual mock-up, and you can see it here. The one thing I love about doing it this way is we can have a color layer underneath the pattern, and we can have different designs underneath the pattern if you want to change the opacity and stuff like that. So I feel like this is the best way to do it. All you have to do now is just line it up. You can use the alignment tools or do it manually, whatever you feel best. For the color layer, all we have to do is go into our actual layers and find our pattern layer. From here, we'll use Alt and drag up to make a duplicate. And then from that duplicate, we'll just change the fill of that duplicate to a solid color. Optional step here, but if you wish the pattern to be a little bit more faded, or it would be like a color wash or something like that, you can go ahead and change the opacity or the blend mode, whichever you feel best. Now I wanted to remake that echo graphic, so I started with this font called Ballpark Wiener. Crazy name, created an outline with it. And then I was like, okay, cool. What's the best way about doing this? Let's go ahead and ungroup this. And then we're going to remove this middle V and replace it with the caps lock version because it just matches the look that we're going for. I'm going to resize it so it fits nicely here. Now the goal is to finish this and make it look as custom as possible. So I'm removing this dot from the eye and adding in one custom made. And I'm going to go ahead and use the width tool to adjust the width so it matches the font going on. Once you're happy with it, go to object, expand, and now you have a shape. Now I'm going in with the pencil tool and I'm drawing in a custom swoop to finish off this graphic. Now this took some tries. You want to go in with the width tool and adjust the width in certain areas so it matches the actual typeface that you have. So this one's a lot playful. There's a lot of curves, there's a lot of different widths, and that's exactly what I'm trying to achieve here. Like before, finish it up by expanding the shape and then going with the pencil tool and finish off the shape by closing off anything that looks a little bit off and match it with the rest of your font. You can go in with the curve tool to finalize anything as well. This is just cleaning up the actual design so it looks like a complete logo. Now time to get the look. Firstly, we're going to use the eyedropper tool to select the color from the actual design. And then we're going to go in with the stroke and we're going to add a thick stroke. We're going to set the stroke to the outside. And from here, we can start building the actual visual look. I'm going to go ahead and use the shape builder tool to clean up this curve that we made earlier, just so it looks a little bit more professional. Next, we're going to go ahead and just arrange this font. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, arrange, bring to front, arrange, bring to front, just so it looks like the actual reference. Again, I'm copying the reference because I want it to look like that. The last point of connection was just connecting the IVE using the shape builder tool. And now we have a complete design. I went ahead and added supply in the font baller just to make it look like the reference again. And now we have our design about 95% done. One thing you do notice is we don't have the VIVET logo in the camo. And I'm going to show you exactly how to add it in. So if we grab this actual logo and press Command C to copy it, and then we head over to the actual swatches. And if we double click our actual pattern, we can go ahead and paste in the logo. And now this is going to adjust our pattern in real time. I'm just going to place this logo around the area as I see fit. Once you're happy with placement, go ahead and press done. And now in real time, you have a custom pattern for your design. All that's left is to finalize the mockup. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the Tech Pack 2025. I'm going to grab this kangaroo pouch here and apply it to our actual hoodie because I want the hoodie to have a kangaroo pouch. Cleaning up the mockup a bit more, I'm going to go ahead and use the Life Paint Bucket tool to fill in our actual hoodie mockup. So this is the fill itself, and just fill in the inside so it looks a little bit more realistic. So the fill color would be black. Now, the one thing I love about the toolkit is it comes with a lot of like different pockets and stuff like that. So if you wanted to explore with a hoodie and just challenge your ideas of your clothing brand, you can go ahead and just grab random pockets and place them on the actual hood. Maybe you come up with something that you like. And I just grabbed this from the actual pants because everything is interchangeable. Added a simple little tag that represents VIVET, and I'm going to go ahead and add this to the pants as well, just so we have some continuity between the set. Went ahead and did a black variant because why not? Balenciaga always has something in black, and I think it matches perfectly with this set. So now that we have our design complete, let's head over into AI. For this process, we're going to go ahead and use Adobe Firefly. Now, the first thing you want to do is grab screenshots of your actual mockup. So that's detailed photos, a full garment photo, and also any little logos that you want to include. More detail, the better. I'm using Firefly, but the AI model that I'm using in Firefly is Google Nano Banana Pro. Why? Because I have a subscription to Adobe and it's included. You could also just use Nano Banana Pro if you have a Google account. That works also. And the prompt I'm going to use is this one here. Full body studio fashion photography of a model wearing an oversized yellow zip-up hoodie and matching wide leg sweatpants. Heavyweight cotton fleece fabric, structured but relaxed drape, drop shoulder, long sleeves stacking at the wrist, wide leg pants with natural pooling at the ankles. Hoodie features a red graffiti style chest logo, kangaroo paw pocket, small chest patch pocket detail, and a black interior hood lining. What you're doing basically is describing what material your garment is made out of, how it fits or how it would fit on a model, and any sort of structural detail that you want. This is going to give you the most accurate look for your actual mock-up, and then you can add in details like make the model black or make the model X, Y, and Z, add glasses, add sandals, whatever you want. You could tailor this prompt to that. Now, realistically, you're going to have some trials and errors because AI isn't perfect. Crazy thing is you could turn this into ads for your clothing brand and go straight to launch. So I think the best course moving forward is have your actual physical sample in, and maybe you don't have the budget for an actual release. So you can go ahead and use AI to build your photo shoots. And if you're pretty tech savvy, this can look extremely realistic and very convincing, essentially cutting a large proportion of your actual budgeting for your clothing brand. I hope you guys enjoy that video. I'll see you when I see you. I love you. Peace.